Good day and welcome to another edition of Outsider Genie, where we will be doing the preview for racing today from Turffontein Inside Track, the 10th of October. Before we look at the form and the betting, just one or two things that I want you to take note of. First of all, for the persons who are watching this video for the first time, what Outsider Genie does is we do a form analysis of each race. And through our analysis, we then find possible outsider selections that we give to you, and you can then put them into your play so that should they arrive either winning or place, you would then be receiving the bigger dividend. So we are not a tipping service per se. We do the analysis and we give you the numbers and you add that into whatever play you prefer because each punter has his own preference in terms of what type of bet that she likes. So this video today is sponsored by the Super Income Club, which I will tell you a little bit more later on. If you want to subscribe to this video, click on the subscribe now button and ring the bell, and you will then be notified every time we post our daily free preview of the day's racing. We can also be found on Twitter, Instagram, and also, our contact details 083-5855-133, telephone or WhatsApp number. Then we have got special offers, package monthly subscription to receive daily analysis selection, 500 Rand per month. Then we have a special package for subscription for October and November, where the normal cost would have been 1,000 Rand, but you can, that you will, for 2 months, if you subscribe for 2 months now, till November, you'll get a 50% discount. Now, that offer ended yesterday, but if you come to me today and say, listen, I still want to take up that package, I will not turn you away. So you can WhatsApp us on 083-585-5133. Now, subscribe to Outsider Genie's form analysis service. When you do that, you get race by race selections, outright winner and 2 possible outsider selections, 2 daily recommended all-to-come doubles, value bets to play each way, normally 6 to 1, best bet of the day, no odds on, decent value. You know, you can find a 8 to 10 or a 7 to 10 or a 6 to 10 shot, you can find yourself. But we try and give you decent value in terms of the best bets, and we have given as high as 13 to 2. Then we give you suggested trifectas and quartet selections, and some of our selections do come in, and normally because there's an outsider involved, they pay handsomely. So you can use it as given, or you can take some of that numbers, add them into your numbers, and see if you can catch the quartet or trifectas. And then we also give you affordable PA and pick sixes, which you can play as is, or you can add on to it, or use some of our numbers in conjunction with your numbers, and maybe you can then catch the lucrative pick six or PA. Then what will happen is when you do subscribes, we will add you to our paid members group for October, and you will then get this selections every day via WhatsApp. Here we have the race by race selections, pick six, PA, trifectas and quartets, our value bets, and then we also supply you with 2 all-to-come doubles that you can try for the day. So let's now move on to the business of racing. We're racing from Turffontein, the inside track, as I said before. So let's start off with race number 1. Here we have a maiden plate over 1,200 meters. Please note that this, as I said before, this is on the inside track. So the 1,200 meters starting on the inside track is around the bend. So here's the betting. Let me just have a look at the betting. I'm just waiting for this. Okay, here we go. Your favorite, number 4, Blue Eye, 16 to 10. 5 to 2, Bequest, the first timer. Carolina Reaper, 13 to 2. Sergeant York, 13 to 2. Bolter Leo, 13 to 2. Midnight Cola, 12 to 1. Emerald Pine, Eminent Flow, 12 to 1. 14 to 1, and better the rest. Now, before I start doing my analysis, I just want to mention, you know, I'm here between a rock and a hard place, because some people want me to, per race, you know, touch on more runners, and other people want me say the video is too long. So what I'm now trying to do is I'll touch on the horses that I got my selections. The first selection is normally my outright winner, and then other 2 selections is my outsider selections. And then I'll touch on one or two other horses in the race, and try to make and keep this video within round about half an hour. And I think that is the shortest that I can make it. So in this race, my first selection is number 3, Sergeant York. It's a Captain Elk Gelding by National Emblem. Nice breeding. This horse took a while to find his feet, but last time out of the poly, did run well. And I see it's now got, last time out it had blinkers on and an improved the blinkers. So that hopefully might have solved the problem. And I can tell you something, what I know about Cornay's Peace Stable is once their horses start picking up form, you can start following them. So I believe Sergeant York, my first choice in this race. For number 4, Blue Eyes is the favorite. Now, this horse has run 5.6, 6.5, 4.5, but that's not really troubled the winners, although it is from an informed stable and an informed combination with Kumalo also riding well for Paul Matchett, also for Lee. It looks like Kumalo has got a new lease on life. It's incredible. He's stacking up the winners. I think the last time I saw, he was still in the lead. But I think Lyle Hewitson will be catching up soon. And yeah, that is going to be a nice deal to look forward for the season, because already they look to me like the 2 jockeys that's going to fight for the championship for this year. But I might be wrong. There are other jockeys that might still improve their form. So then outside of selections, we're going to look at number 6. That is Bold Jazz. Now, this horse is like 33 to 1 in the betting. If you want to have a look there, 35 to 1 in the betting. Now, this is one of the things of, reading form. This race is now over the 1200 meters, but now if you look at this horse, it's already getting minus 2.5. Now, look at this first run. It says green, steady, had to switch, and still it managed to run 400 to finish 23.7, second fastest to 400. Now, this to me is an indication that this horse has got some sort of ability. And I'm sure I'm going to put my head on the block. Bold Jazz will improve. I maybe not improve enough to win the race, but imagine the 35 to 1 coming in second, third, or fourth in the quartet, what it will do for the payout. So do not leave number 6 Bold Jazz out. And even if it doesn't finish in the placings, do put it in your keep a mind on it. And I just see this is also by Paul Matchett. Now maybe it will be a nice thing to take a swinger and exacta them with Blue Eyes. That might be a favorable, nice payout that you can get. Another horse that I want to touch on is number 11, Bolt Allure. Now Bolt Allure, this comes from this female line, Bolt Star, is a very strong female line. That comes from Bolt Eleanor, and there's a lot of them. And Mr. Destombers, he doesn't sell those fillies. And what I like about this horse is by Willow Magic. I'm going to tell you, I think Willow Magic will be a stallion for the future. It's trained by Mr. Lecoq, drawn 1, Callan Murray, currently in the betting 13 to 2. So do include in all your bets. I'm sure L11 Bolt Allure, and also the longer distance will suit, and it is drawn 1, so definitely include into your play. Yes, this horse is also attracted the betting oratorio, first timer, a daughter's legacy by Windrush. Unfortunately, as I say, I don't know the ability, but it is getting minus 1.5, so surely maybe that would be a horse to include. And also number 9, Emerald Flow. Number 9, Emerald Flow, I see is like 12 to 1. So it has shown some ability. In my mind, even this horse, number 9, Emerald Flow, has shown to me more ability than number 5, Blue Eyes. But I can be wrong, I can't see in the future, but it just feels to me that number 9 might even have stronger form than number Blue Eyes. So do include also in your play, in your quartet selections. So let's move on to race number 2. Race number 2 is a maiden plate over 1,200 meters. And let's have a look at the betting here. The betting is as follows. Number 1, Malvern, is 18 to 10. And then they bet 9 to 2 the field. Wow. Winter's Power 9 to 2. Aram 9 to 2. Irish Willow 11 to 2. Bitter Wind 10 to 1. Queens and Lace 10 to 1. 16 to 1 time for that, and 25 to 1 and longer the rest. So let's have a look at number 2, where my first selection is number 5, which is Winter's Powers, again Kumalo for Michael Azzi. Also a nice combination. This was improved last time behind Millen's Princess, and has had a nice run there behind Miracle Flight, and that was in juveniles. Back in the maiden now, there again it was in a juvenile behind Rabadoo, which is also a very good horse. And then even while it was a brand behind Calamera is a very good horse, although 12 lengths behind. But now I see it's draw 1, and I think I do see the Azzy stable is back in form. So definitely a horse to include into your calculations. Then my outsider selections for this race is number 2, which is Bitter Wind. This horse is slowly improving, has run 3 third places. But the thing that concerns me a little bit is that the fact that the horse only runs 9 passes 400, 6 passes 400. But saying that, if you have a look at this, 22.9. Now, I always say anything for the last 400 meters under 23 seconds is good. Although he was the 9 fastest, he was still 22.9. So, and he was, he was setting the pace, and it shifted about, and then he said extra late, yeah, like here's 24.3, still reasonable. But I think the 1200 meter will suit this horse a little bit better because he's now between 1400 and 1000. Although he went over 12 the 2 times, he went over 1200 meters, didn't run so well. So this is difficult to assess this horse. It is a 4-year-old already. And but a few runs, Musi always giving of his best. So definitely a horse that you need to include in all your play. Has got the ability to win this race. Then I want to touch on number 9, Ari's Willow, Elangari by Al Mafti May. Now this horse did finish 4.75. But the one thing that I noticed about this over 1,000 meters, remember the 1,000 meters on Turffontein around it on the inside course is also around the bend. So it's normally not as fast because they have to take the bend first before they pick up speed. Now this horse ran 21.8. It's a slow, lost 1 length. So it's drawn 2. If it can jump, Larina on board, definitely a horse to take in account. Currently the betting on this is number 9. It's 11 to 2, not to left out. Then we have a first time in the year, Dynasty by Asiatic Boy. Yeah, Lyle Hudson on board, drawn 4. I'm not sure what the reason is why Karen Murray is not riding the horse. Maybe just check if he's got another ride in this race. Karen Murray. No, he doesn't. So I'm not sure what the jockey arrangements is there. That is not, we're not privy to that information. So number 1, Marvin is the favorite. Has had some decent runs. I mean, it's not without a chance. Has got a nice jockey on board, drawn 3. Also not without a prey. But yeah, already had, it's a 4-year-old, already had 8 runs, and it's only improving in his last 2 races. Yeah, it is not a certainty can win the race, but there are horses that can beat him. So we just want to see where is that other horse that I'm looking for? Queen. Number 11. I'm going to have a look at number 11. Oh, here we are. The 2 first timers from one from Phelan Stable and one from Paul Peter Stable. A Flower Alley by Fordwood, nicely bred. Warren Kennedy Award, drawn a little bit wide. So I'm not, as I said before, and also number 10. Maybe you want to include that in the back end of your quartets. So let's move on to race number 3, where we have a maiden plate over 1,600 meters. Let's have a look at the betting. David's Palace is a first timer, 22 to 10. Master Mariner 4 to 1. 7 leading lads, 7 to 1. What to what, 8 to 1. Bimax 17 to 2. Duster Donut 10 to 1. Captain Cupid 14 to 1. Burning Eyes 16 to 1. Flaming Fire 22 to 1 and 28 to 1, and longer the rest. Now, with the biggest respect to all of the owners and trainers in this race, this is not a very strong field. This is really a weak maiden plate. And yeah, I'm going to discuss this now about the winner. I'll go down there now. But yes, number one, but drawn 11 has improved on his last time, can probably improve a little bit more. But I would have been, maybe I see Majorca's riding it, so maybe Alec Laird is throwing him a little bone. And instead of putting Kamala on board, he has had ridden the horse twice and he did finish second or third last time out. So maybe throwing the guy a bone there. So let's move on down to the favorite. Now, here we have number 13, number 12, David's Palace, drawn to Lorena on board. And yeah, this horse wouldn't have to have a lot of ability to win this race. So let's look at my at the outsiders. Yeah, it turned out to be from the same stable and the same owner. Belongs to Mickey Reingard, so this probably will land up in Mauritius at one stage, I would think. Yes, Kamala on board for Andrew Fortune, captain of all by Ideal World Me. Um, Now, this horse has been finishing there and thereabouts, but what you must look at is running two juveniles, the one behind Nobis. Now, Nobis is on his way out of the country to contest overseas, so they must think a lot of Nobis, which also won a Grade One, and then also PSL, no donkey. Now back in the maiden, Dusted Donut, definitely a horse that you need to include into your play, as is number 11, Flaming Fire. Now, these coup de grace, they really run well. And this is by Jalad Me. Definitely the 1600 meter will suit. Already the horse improved from the 1200 to the 1450, but unfortunately drawn a little bit by wide, draw 10, but definitely a horse that you would want to include into the back ends of your quartets. So let's now move on to race number 4, the first leg of the Pick 6 over maiden plate over 2,000 meters. And here we're betting as follows. FS Squadron 11 to 10, 5 to 1 Nasply, Wolfish World 11 to 2, Fast Draw 7 to 2, Royport 8 to 1, Maroon Spinny 25 to 1, and 25 to 1 and longer the rest. Also, another race where, unfortunately, for the owners and the trainers, the form are not too strong. So here in race 5, my first selection being number 9, um, the favorite of number 10, sorry, the favorite in race 4, FS Squadron. The horse has improved over the longer distances, has run two nice races, Cannon Money on board, draw one, and I would think that this looks to me like the best bet on the card. So let's look at some other horses that you can include into your play. While I'm here, let me scroll down to number 14. Number 14 is Fool's World, also an Ideal World by National Assembly. This horse has been running under 10 lengths behind the winner, but is now drawn to got the arena on board, and I'm sure the 2,000 meters will definitely more to be to this horse liking. And also let's go back to number up to number 2, where number 2 is Fast Draw. Now, this is the first time Fast Draw is going over this distance. Already a 16 races, still a maiden. But if there's some weak form in this race, and if Pierce Trader maybe can, get his horse to settle down a little bit, because here he's run over 1,800 meters and didn't fare too bad behind Master Supreme. Some Master Supreme is a horse with some ability, and Pierre can settle the horse a little bit. Yeah, this horse might upset the apple cart and beat the favorite. But yeah, a Nasply, I've given up a Nasply. I have recommended him a few times, and every time I recommend him, he does, he disappoints me. And I'm not sure if this horse is going to go to 2,000 meters. I might be proved very wrong, and this horse might land up winning by 6 lengths, and I land up with egg on my face. But yeah, that's the nature of racing. Roy Poort battles to put 2 races together, 2 good races in a row. Last time out did improve a little bit, running behind Sun Giant, but this horse even battles in some maiden handicaps. I can't see it winning today. So let's move on. So I just want to mention, put number 4, Maroon Spinny, in the back end of your quartet, Lyle Hewitson. I think this horse has got some ability. Well, he's bred nicely. Some of these penny fares has run well. But yeah, maybe this horse might put it together one day. Over the 2,000 today might be a proposition for the back ends of your quartets do include. So then move on to race number 5. But before I look at race number 5, I just want to touch on something else again. Just quickly go back to our sponsors, who are the Super Income Club. Now, the Super Income Club is a club that was formed to assist its members to find opportunities from which they can create an income and be self-sustainable. All opportunities is legitimate and do not require a huge amount of money to participate. The club is for persons who want to earn above average income and grow wealth, have the willingness to do whatever it needs to be done to be able to earn above average income and grow wealth, not looking for excuses why he or she can't do the business. Always sees a half full glass of water, not half empty. Willing to invest a small amount of money in their own business in order to earn an above average recurring income. The club currently has opportunity where only a once-off amount of 100 Rand is required to get started. Your earnings is in US dollar. The conversion rate is $1.17. Willing to work in a team environment and follow the plan. I have the desire to also assist other persons to achieve an above average income. Please note, absolutely no sales involved. For more information, WhatsApp 0722941688. Now, guys, I know for a fact, I've been a punter for most of my life. A punter is always short of money. You never have enough money. Well, most punters, there are maybe the street ones, who doesn't need this. And then also, you also need money for your house, some of you are punting to make a living. And what surprises me is that I run this thing. I think in the 3 or 4 days I'm running it, I had exactly 4 people who are interested. Now, I don't know what it is, if you guys are not interested in making money, but I can assure you this opportunity is a money-making machine. I have joined and I've already got 100 Rand back and I'm already making profit, and I make money daily, and every day my income is increasing because I'm keeping track of it. I'm putting it on an Excel spreadsheet. So I know within a few days, in a month or so, I'm going to have a nice income from this. But I'm sharing this with you. You can use it or lose it, your choice. Let's go back to the racing. Now let's have a look at the betting. The betting is as follows. Race 5, number 8, Barak, 33-10. Sunshine Silk, 11-2. Gold Griffin, 11-2. Factor 50, 13-2. Western Fort, 8-1. Hot Drop, 9-2. Shenanigans, 12-1. Top Shot, 14-1. Rocky Paw, 14-1. Out of your lead, 20-1. Earth Sky, 25. And Capella Magna, 33-1. Yeah, when I look at this race, you will see that Barak is not in the best handicap thing here, because normally when I get a race like this, this is what I look at first. But Barak is one of the most improved horses in Gauteng at the moment, and he's only carrying 52, and he's still improving. Last time out when he went from a 68 ability rating, average rating, to 89, I thought, well, now this is going to be, the business. But he still improved. But now the problem is as follows, that he beat Gold Griffin, and between him and Gold Griffin there was 1 kilogram difference. Now today there's 3 kilograms difference. So that, but I did put Gold Griffin as my first choice, but Barak, I think the problem is with Gold Griffin that he needs a long running, because he normally comes from behind, and he might be running out of real estate, at the end of the day. But I do believe that a -3 will be, with this distance, make a significant difference. So it's going to be a nice race to see between number 8 Barak and Gold Griffin. And then here we have number 10 Rocky Path, also on 52 kilograms. And I thought last time, Rocky Path was going to need the run, but he didn't. He ran a very good race behind Sungiant, only going down by half a length. And the one thing about this is, I'm sure this distance will suit Rocky Path, because as you can see, he won most of his races over 2,000 meters. So at Rocky Path, on this way, definitely inclusion although he's not in the best weighted column. Then I think of the runners, factor 50, I think he's also a serial runner. Last time out, he ran in a Gold Cup. I mean, that is much higher division than this division. And then he ran 2 lanes behind Dynasty Blossom, who was the stayer of the year. And then before that, he ran behind Imperial Ruby, who was also in a Gold Cup, Jetstar. So factor 50, I think, really a serious runner in this race. The other horses have chances out of your league. One day SA Derby, but since one in SA Derby has had 2 runs behind American Indian, where he never featured, and then finished way down, well, actually still lost in the Gold Cup. So, and also drawn 11. So I think it's going to be hard to beat. Then Sunshine Silk was also a horse that ran good, but lately Sunshine Silk is not running too well, and I think maybe starting, the breeding paddocks might be a better proposition for this horse at the moment, with the biggest respect to the owners. Western Ford came with a big reputation at one stage, but hasn't lived up to that reputation. I'm not sure about a 2-6, but yeah, time will tell. Warren Kennedy on board, drawn 5 for Peter. So all in all, Shenanigans has also run against the best in the country. I see Deacon is riding -2.5, 54. Also, has got the ability to be involved in the finish. Top Shot has also been running well. So yeah, all in all, I think either you're going to bank a Barack and you pick 6, or you're going to go wide. That is going to be the choice. So let's move on to race number 6. It is the computer for merit rated 84 handicap, Class C, average merit rating 80. Let's have a look at the betting. Here's number 3, Captain Morisco, 14-10, 5-2, Spanish Boy, Vara Low, 6-1, Holy Man, 8-1, We All Chommies, 12-1, and 20-1, and better the rest. Now, yeah, I see Captain Morisco as a very short favorite, and I did make him my first selection, but, it is not a very confident first selection, because he was beaten by Captain Mountain last time out. Captain Mountain coming up on the line to beat him. But I do believe that this is a good horse. It's been running well. It's a 3-year-old, can still improve. But definitely Spanish Boy also in with a chance. Not a horse that you can discard. We can bring him now back over the 1200 meters. I'm not sure what the situation will be, but he did run over 11:16 before, ran a second day. And yeah, maybe he's been battling over the longer distances. His horse also came with a big reputation, but never lived up to it. But maybe the shorter distance today might be, back to, might be to his liking. Then you got Warren Low, has also run 1 or 2 decent races. Last time out, 1 length behind Pinda Masali, but in a little bit of a lower division. Then Holy Man is also a horse. I'm not sure if Holy Man probably would prefer the 1450, but now back over the 1200 meters, where he has won twice over 1200 meters. So Lyle Hewitson on board, drawn to Not Without a Prayer. Silver Master is running a good race here and there. I'm not sure where we're going to be with him today. He's not a horse that you can rely on. So that brings us to race number 7, which is a filly Mares handicap, 95, Class B, average merit rating 89. Let's have a look at the betting. Here we have number 10, Taito Rania, number 1, Taito Rania, 3-1, 4-1, Elusive Force, 9-2, Wiley Wings, Strutters, Statali, 9-2, 11-2, Lily Blue, Destiny's Game, 11-1, Castellano, 11-1, and 15-1. Now you see me. Also a very interesting race. Here we have Talito Rana has won 2 in a row as the Elusive Force. So that it looks, when I look at it, and I immediately thought, yeah, no, this is going to be the business between 1 and 2. But then I saw there are other horses. My first choice is number 3, Wiley Winch. Wiley Winch did win 3 races in a row, and then last time behind Ronnie's Candy. Yeah, I don't know what happened. but it's now coming off 105-day race, and I'm sure will improve. And I think Wally Wins is a big contender in this race. Then also my first choice in this race is number 7, Statali, and the reason for that is this horse ran close to Tahito Rhino, 2.5 lengths, but now there is a big swing in the weights, and also this horse won very well last time out with over 4 lengths behind Common Crystal, drawn to Lyle Hewitson. I'm sure this horse is still improving, and I think will be a very big factor in this race. And then also want to look at number 5, Lily Blue. Now, this is a Black Manaloose, out of a Zim Kilpatra was the damn sire. Now, this horse has won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 races in a row. And it looks to me that, yeah, this horse must have some ability. You know, you don't win of that. I mean, it's 15 races, she won 9 and 4 places. So only been unplaced twice. But now, okay, the opposition in Zim is not the opposition in South Africa, but I do think when a horse comes to South Africa, like they will not do all of the trouble if they're not sure about the horse's ability. So this horse can be anything, definitely to be included into your play. You know, other horses, you've got Castellano, the first run here. I'm not sure what the mission is. It's now of Alex Laird, Kumara on board. Can be anything. Has run against some strong opposition in the past. So also a horse that you might want to include into your quartet play. So all in all, to me, not a very clear-cut race for number 1 and 2. Now you see me even on this weight, 51.5, must have a serious chance. So also, yeah, maybe, yeah, if you can afford it, go to field. Then we get to race number 8, and race number 8 is a Pinnacle Stakes, Class A, 110, 1600 meters. We'll just go to the betting. What is race 4-1? You Can't Hardly Love 92, Asterix 92, Charles 5-1, Green A 6-1, Fired Up 7-1, Divine Odyssey 9-1, Soldier On 9-1, and Scratch number 5 Back Leader. That was run off the course last time out. Now, if you look in the best weighted thing here, we have Green Ace, Warriors Best, Divine Odyssey, You Can't Hurry Love, Pack Leader. Now, I just want to go here, I want to show you something. Here's a horse whose highest merit rating was 113, which is Charles. Now, if you weight in 113, then on the best weighted handicap, he would have been definitely, he would have come in, well, he won't even have come in because those are still higher than him. But the thing with Charles, what I like about Charles, this horse has come with a big reputation. This horse cost 6 million rand. Now, you don't pay 6 million rand for a horse that hasn't got the confirmation and the looks. And I believe that this horse is now with Michael de Kock. And we've seen in the past that Michael de Kock sometimes take over these big horses. And I can name you one that I know of, Irish Flame, Bolt Savannah. You know, they all came to Michael de Kock, and he won big races with them. And I think here we're looking at the same similar scenario, because here we've got a horse that at a merit rating 92, he beat a horse called Vardy. Now, I don't even have to tell you who Vardy is. He ran second in a Cape Derby between Adyab, just beaten, coming from 14 lengths, 14th place, 6 lengths behind to be beaten on the line. Twist of Fate is no slouch. Awan, no snouts. Roy had enough, no slouch. So, one world Balagarian, I mean, this horse is run against the best in the country. Now it's got Colin Murray on board, but Ron and I'm not concerned about it. But I think Charles today is a huge runner in this field. And for outsider selections, I'm going to go for number 8 Soldier on, purely underweight. Carrying 50, yeah, it's out underweight, but I think this horse is going to run a huge race, definitely include into your play. And number 9 Fire Up, also in with a chance because of the weight. Initially, when I looked at his race before I saw his child, when I opened up and I saw what is best, I thought, yeah, no, that is that. But now, as I said, once I've done my studies, but I think what is best rest, except for Charles, I think is the horse with the best chance in this field. He has run 1600 meters, has won over the 1600 meters, although during the Natal season, he ran his best races over 1200 meters. But I mean, he can do the 1600 meters. And if you have a look here, he was beaten by Soldier On before, where him and Soldier On was carrying a half a kilogram more than him, and he was beaten 4.2 by Soldier On. Now he's carrying 60, and Soldier On is carrying 50, 10 kilograms. So definitely Soldier On, a horse that you do need to include into your play because of beating number 1 before, and him not a donkey himself. So definitely include number 8 into your play. Other horses that you can look at here, number 3 Green Ace. Green Ace also, has run some decent races against some decent opposition, but I'm not sure where we at currently in terms of his form. Didn't run a good race behind Divine Odyssey, so maybe the number 1 and the 7 might be a better proposition to include here. And you can't hurry. Love has also come with a big reputation, but since then I don't know what happened. Last time out was comprehensively beaten by Zuaris. Yeah, maybe wait and see, for improvement on this horse. Has run course and distance, 2 run, 1 win, 1 second. So if you want to, you can include that into your play. But then we move down to the last race, where we have a merit rated 90 handicap class B, average merit rating 87. And here the betting is as follows. Eula Late has now won 3 in a row, 3-1, Prospector 9-2, Masonic 5-1, and Echtin Blue 11-2, Crank It Up 11-2, Spiro Optima 10-1, 14-1, Skin Mac, and 16-1, Roy Tom. Now, I can tell you now something. When I did my initial thing this morning early, this was 12-1. It's now 10-1. So I'll tell you now about this horse, Spiro Optima. Somebody let's go down to Spiro Optima, number 1. And I believe this horse is much better than his form suggests. He's had some long breaks, a long break, 259 days. But I believe that Michael Lecoq is a very professional, and his stable is very professional, and they will not bring this horse to the track if this horse is not ready. And I think that this horse today is going to come home. Also they paid a lot of money for this horse, and obviously must have been very well put together in terms of confirmation. And I'm looking forward for this horse to cause an upset here in the last leg of the pick 6. But saying that, it looks like somebody else also knows something, because the horse now all of a sudden is 10-1, and that was about an hour ago or so that I did my analysis, and already is now 10-1. Then I want to go down to number 7. Number 7 is Edson Blue. This horse is running well. Also, again, a command on fortune. He's running well, and I expect him to run well again, although a little bit up in class, but it has competed in 80s, 81, 87s. So he's certainly within his class, and I believe to run a good race again. And then I want to go to number 11, which won its first race. Again, the Willow Magic, only carrying 52 by Jared Mee. I'm sure this horse is going to keep on running in forward race, drawn 2. Then we have, was going to have a look at number 9, Eululate. Nothing, she hasn't done anything wrong. Has won 3 races in a row, but now stepping up in class, Musi Yeni on board, who has won with her. So certainly a contender in this field, but you know, as you go up in class, you know, it gets a little bit more difficult. So, excuse me, I'm sure Eululate today won't have it all her own way. Yeah, definitely a horse that can beat her, but she is a nicely bred Eululate, and also van Bogelburg and Morrisfontein as is number 1. So that brings us to the end of our preview for the day at Turffontein. I hope I could point you in the right direction, and that you'll be able to make a bit of money. And as I always say, break a leg.